Good evening, lovely people. It is a Tuesday evening, and we're going to start the Angry Black Man Show once again. Every now and then I have to say this because people get the wrong impression, and people are quick to recriminate and criminalize and invalidate an angry man and an angry human. So I want to say to the world and those who shiver when people speak the truth, my nonprofit is the Mellow Hood Foundation. If your hood ain't good, it's not a mellow hood. I'm an intelligent person. I'm also a deeply conscious person. But because I am a truth speaker, a lot of funding that I would get if I was to go along to get along, I don't get. And if you go along to get along, you ain't strong. If you just want to make people happy, you serve in more than one pappy. If you just fighting and battling for salutations instead of transformation, you know who you are. Once again, I'm going to say it early this time. I swing for the truth. I'm Josh Gibson. I can't be Babe Ruth. I'm an angry black man, and I'm proud of it because I am here to transform. I'm not here to perform. Doesn't mean I don't love everybody, because I do. But my focus as a lovely human, unapologetic, fearless, with a fanatical belief in oneself, my focus is on these youth, because the youth are the truth, and these youth are my truth. And they edify and fuel me. So, lovely youth, I have something to say. This is going to be my last week on TikTok. Because youth, I didn't know TikTok was this nasty and horrific. Youth and black parents and all youth and all parents, this cannot be the version of us. Black parents, our children see far too much trash. Why do the mediums that allow us to be the worst version of ourselves do we cling to and we become attracted to so quickly? A bunch of intelligent black women of varying conditions that have the same makeup on, with the same hair texture, let's talk about that, swing on each other, curse each other out, and they call themselves the housewives of various cities, and you know you're making money for a person who doesn't look like you. Love and hip-hop, there ain't no love in these hip-hop shows. You forgot where the original need for hip-hop came from. Every time we turn around, there's a medium that begs us to be horrible versions of humanity, and we let ourselves get exploited. And we wonder why our youth mimic the despicable behavior of people who think that they're getting over because someone's throwing some money your way. Look, trillions upon trillions have been made on the backs of you incredible people. We cannot sell each other out. Let me get back to funding. I have to say this, and if you take it wrong, then sing your song. I'm going to remain strong. Why in the name of God and whatever else you call the Creator do we have so many nonprofits when the lives of black folk and black children isn't profitable? Why are we building so many edifices to ourselves? I already know what I look like in the shower. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm not. What are these ego monoliths going up for? Now, we know there are phenomenal people in this community doing phenomenal stuff. Once again, you know, y'all love to hate Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson is one of the most incredible funders. There probably is nobody in this nation that can outfund Michael Johnson. If you're mad about it, get glad about it and then shout it. Kaleem has a school, you know. He's feeding students filet mignon and not gruel. He is feeding heads the healthy bread. Brandy Grayson is dignity chasing. Brandy Grayson is erasing systemic and systematic hatred and racism by doing real stuff. There are other people out phenomenal people. I've named a couple. Hey, Miss Madison, Sabrina Madison, I hope you don't get mad for me saying it like that, but I have to because I'm silly. She's doing phenomenal stuff. There is a warrior working in city government. His name is Harper Donahue, a lovely human and a real black man. Not that I'm acting as if somehow I am the decider of what black maleness is, but I can darn near and for sure tell you what it ain't. I can guarantee you that. He is a intelligent, credentialed warrior, and we need more like him. And young black men, and young brown men, and young white men, young transgender men, all men, whoever identify as men, we need more educated warrior black men like Harper Donahue. But Madison, we have far too many members of the, let me figure out how to do this, the nonprofit cartel, getting scads of money and nothing's funny. Scads of money and you dance like that Easter bunny, and that's not funny, honey. You get all this money and nothing's being done. But when Dr. King's birthday comes, you the first one in line to run. You run straight down to the Capitol to say you've done something. And when you haven't, we don't need a center for brilliance. And white folk, I know you're going to get inflamed, but mind your business. Black folk, if you want a resilient community, you put some black people in homes and watch how quickly the city get gritty and not S-H-I-T-Y. I quit cursing. Dion told me to. If you want to rejuvenate and instill dignity in somebody's life, create ownership. What is the quickest way to wealth? Ownership. Quit telling me that you're doing wonderful stuff for black people when you brag about, we fed 6,000 people Thanksgiving. Why are we still saying that? After 20 years, why are we still feeding 6,000 people, which means 6,000 people can't eat at their crib, and you probably could have fed 10,000 more, but they couldn't get into the place. Why are we still doing this? Why are we still bragging about the perpetual pit of poverty that our people reside in? I'm sick of this. Why? When something happens to our young men who need modeling from real men, we turn our head until our white folks say something, then we act like we all in. You cannot chase ambulances and call yourself a leader. You cannot turn your head when they tear up because you're so full of fear that a white funder will get mad at you and say, oh, you ain't the Negro I thought you were. You cannot be anyone's Negro. Have we not learned that? You have to be a black human, a human that is black. I'm not babbling. That is a matter of fact. You must be a human that is black that will stand up. Show up. Not show out. You must show up to blow up because our children need to grow up. We must stand as humans. We no longer will swing from that bigotry. You cannot be anyone's strange fruit. Stand up. Clean up, and then you wake up. And wake up to what's happening in your community. This funding cartel must be addressed. Once again, for the last 30 years, we got another report how epically behind our children are in scholastically. And what do we do, white men? And what do we do, black men? We giggle and we nudge and we talk about Michael Jordan, who happens to be a billionaire, every time we see each other, but we don't talk about the real truth. How many flyers are out where we talk about, let's talk about the youth-centered violence in our community, and when people show up, oh, we don't want to talk about it. So we'll bring out 3 horses and a drone and let these black kids, who you probably are putting in a data bank to see who you're going to have to deal with in the future in some of the housing projects, but you don't want to talk about what's happening in black children's life. And I understand systemic racism, systematic racism, entrenched, intractable forms of Jim Crowism and every level of oppression. I understand that. But black boy, at the end of the day, you still shot somebody. We cannot make excuses. White funders, quit being so quick to criminalize a strong voice in the community, because unless black people are strong together, there is no unity. Black men stand up. I don't demand dignity, command dignity. Peace and love. The Angry Black Man Show. You can't say you didn't know because you just heard my flow. And I'm out.